what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Welcome to Higher Ed Pulse, your no-fluff guide to artificial intelligence in higher ed. I'm Mallory Willsea, bringing nearly 20 years of edtech and marketing expertise straight to your earbuds. Higher ed leaders are expected to master AI overnight, but let's be real, no one has time to sift through every headline, hot take, or research report. That's why every Monday I'll break down what actually matters, fast, clear, and to the point. Want to sound like the smartest person in the room at your next team meeting? You're in the right place. Let's dive in.
Good morning, everyone. We are back at the Gaylord National Harbor for the American Marketing Association Higher Ed Symposium. So excited to be here with Jen Brock from Mount Holyoke. Jen, welcome, and thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks, Carrie. It's so great to be here and to see you in person for the first time in a while.
It is such a treat. That's one of my favorite parts about AMA is that community of people and getting to be in community with people that we connect with online. We face similar challenges and struggles, but yet we get to be face to face. And so I'm really curious, as you're here for a few days, what are some of those conversations that you're looking to have?
Sure. I think I, as a new official VP, so I was interim for about 6 months and I was AVP for 3 years, but as now a real, in quotation marks, VP, I think just connecting with people in similar roles to sort of say, what are we all facing, regardless of institution, regardless of size. We're a small, relatively small, so 2,200 students, gender diverse women's college, but we have some of the same struggles as R1s because we have research, so faculty doing research. I think also looking at where the trend's going, because we're a small college, sometimes we're a little bit watching the big people to sort of see where the big schools are going. And then honestly, just to kind of have those conversations on what's working for you, what's not, and how can we all learn from each other?
Absolutely. And I'm curious, are there any sessions as you've looked at the program? There are so many great topics. What stands out to you in the program of your must attend, maybe top 2 sessions?
So the AI ones, I think that's some place where I recognize I have a little bit of a blind spot and maybe a learning curve for me. But knowing where Gen Alpha is coming from, knowing where our current students are coming from, and honestly, leading a department that's really looking at where can it help us, where some of those hiccup moments we have to be aware of, and learning from the folks who are doing it well. So we're not trying to reinvent something along the way.
And I love what you said there about where there's no need to reinvent something. Let's learn from one another. That's one of the great things about, I think, AMA is that we all are at different institutions, but yet we do face those similar struggles. So talk a little bit about how this community means so much to you.
Sure. I mean, I came into AMA, I joined literally a month and a half after I got the associate VP job. So my experience with it was this conference 3 years ago in National Harbor. I had no idea what to expect. And what I found was, 1,500 people who didn't say, oh, this is my school's thing. I'm going to keep it over here. It was, let me share slide decks. Here's my contact. Here's how we did that. Let me just talk you through it because we're all in it together in a sense, right? Our schools compete. I mean, I see people, we go head to head with on enrollment. And in this space, it's sort of okay, but we're not fighting over those students. We're making sure that it's for the best of all of them. I think I love the conversations where someone says, I did that and we actually didn't do it well. Here's what you can learn from me. And I've had those conversations on saying, we really kind of messed up. And I don't want a colleague to also mess up. So here's what we learned. It's the small moments in the hallway, sitting at breakfast, bumping into someone that you maybe don't even really know that well, but you recognize the school name and you say, oh, we had a similar challenge 2 years ago. How did you all handle it? I have never found a single person who wasn't willing to kind of open the book up and say, here's what we did, good and bad, and let's learn from each other.
And that makes me think of something too, is you've got some team members here this year. Talk a little bit about getting them to be able to have this experience.
Sure. So I'm lucky enough that our college professional development budget is kind of a pool of money and we can carve it up. And so I have a first-time person here, first time because she's a new assistant vice president. So when I was lucky enough to go up to the VP position, I was able to pull a director up to the AVP position. So she's come before. We were all in Vegas last year, but she's here in a new role this time. And I have 2 of my directors. And so it's a great time for them to both do some learning in a different setting, meet some of their colleagues. But because we're a remote hybrid team, it's a time for us to connect. So unlike most colleges, I don't live where Mount Holyoke is. Mount Holyoke is in South Hadley in Western Massachusetts. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. That means that when I see people in person, it's really, really exciting. And so I have 3 of my team here. We've chosen to have dinners together every night. We'll meet up for lunches because for us, this is kind of a chance to also bond as a team. And they can also meet other people that they wouldn't normally get to interact with. So we're just super excited. I think we've all it's been on our calendars for weeks. The minute we all registered, there was a little, like a cheer that went up around the 4 of us. And we just can't wait to hang out together and really learn some great things along the way.
And my final question, for somebody who's maybe a first-time attendee or hearing this and thinking, oh, I really need to be in that room next year, what advice would you have for them to get the most out of these few days? Because it really is a whirlwind.
It is a whirlwind. Pace yourself, right? I think it's easy to think you're going to go to every single session, every single networking thing, and you want to, but you also want to know when you need a little bit of a recharge. AMA is great about having breaks in between. There are quiet spaces you can sit. Sometimes the best conversation doesn't happen in a session. It's staying afterwards and asking a question to someone else, finding someone, find me, find Carrie, find people along the way and say like, hey, I heard you say this. I'm looking to be a VP someday. What does that look like? And I think the other part is hold on to the contacts. Carrie and I did not know each other 3 years ago. We met very briefly and just found each other on LinkedIn and started emailing. And now I seriously consider you a very dear friend, but also a really trusted colleague. So if you're newer in your career, if you're looking to like level up a position, find the people that you see roles that look attractive. Everyone here will have a 15, 20-minute conversation. Stay in touch. Don't just end it when you leave National Harbor. Come back next year, but make the most of while you're here because these are relationships that will help you personally and professionally.
Absolutely. Great advice. And thank you, everybody. Hope this has been a great conversation. And of course, we'll continue to have lots more content here at the AMA Higher Ed Symposium. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Higher Ed Pulse. The show is a proud member of the Enrollify Network, home to Higher Ed's largest collection of podcasts. Enrollify is where higher ed goes to grow. So be sure to check out our other podcasts, webinars, video clips, blogs, and more. Visit Enrollify.org and subscribe for all the latest details and content drops directly to your inbox. Enrollify is brought to you by Element 451, the digital workforce platform for higher ed. Learn more at element451.com.